Hi, Umair Jamshed. Thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for inviting me on your platform, and I would like to introduce myself. So basically, my name is Umair Jamshed, and I'm from Pakistan. And by profession, I'm a content writer. I'm working for fitness industry, and I'm influencer for Google, and also working for a political party as a shadow minister for men's sports in Pakistan. So this is my short introduction. I think.
Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved in those things?
Oh yes. So basically, I like sports, and I like to explore things in sports and food and nutrition, and I would love to explore more about human body, how human body reacts, and my degree is also in food and nutrition. So that's why I got involved in this. I like this profession, and I would love to explore the things, how food and nutrition react with body, and what are the few things that are involving in human body, and the things I like sports. So basically, I like bodybuilding, and so that's why I'm in this industry.
So which sports do you like?
I like bodybuilding.
Oh, bodybuilding. Okay, so not like team sports like cricket or football.
Yeah, I like sports. I'm promoting sports here in Pakistan, and I also like cricket and football, but mainly which I am practicing right now is bodybuilding. So that's why my main goal is to write content about bodybuilding, food and nutrition. So this is the main stuff which I like most.
Um, well, I had some questions I wanted to ask you about the moon. Did you
Hmm.
know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon again for the first time since 1972?
Oh yes, I have heard this news few years back that NASA is planning for 2024, and NASA is planning for a permanent base on Moon. I think it is much easier to go on Moon as compared to other planets. Like it takes only 3 days to go to Moon, and as compared to other planets, like it takes months for to go to on like Mars. So the I heard this news that the estimated budget to go on Moon is $35 million. So I think this budget is comparatively is lesser than the budget of the US Army military budget. So I think this budget needs to. Some people are criticizing on these things that the budget is very high. I think this is for the sake of humanity to explore the things more about planets, and I think this is a good initiative.
Yeah, I the budget increase this year for the Department of Defense for the military, I think is about 35 billion,
Hmm.
and the budget for NASA I think is around 25 billion. So
Hmm.
um, it's definitely I think if we look at the Department of Defense
Hmm.
budget for
Hmm.
2022,
Hmm.
it's $778 billion.
Uh,
So
I have read some research about the failed projects like F-35, which was $1 trillion project. So I think this project is far better than this project. NASA is doing great work for to go to Moon. This project definitely needs to run.
now, some people say that we
Hmm.
have all these problems here on Earth. Why are we sending astronauts to the moon? What
Hmm.
do you think about that?
Uh, so basically, my point of view on this is like if we have NASA is building a colony on in 2028. So basically, the main problem here on Earth is food, shelter, and the environmental problems here on Earth. So, if NASA is doing something for research purposes, and if we have some alternate for shelter, for food, and NASA is also planning to set up a mining operation, water mining operations on Moon. So if they succeed in their project, so I think it's a bit big news for everyone, because here on Earth we have a lot. Like, I'm living in Pakistan. Uh, so here in Pakistan, the biggest problem is environmental problem. Like, it's in which city in Lahore? I'm living in Lahore, so it's the dirtiest city of the world. So uh, just because of the environmental pollution. So if NASA is planning this, so I think this is a good step for humanity also, because we have some alternate resources. So I think this is a good step, and this steps needs to be taken as soon as possible.
If you could, would you take a trip to the moon?
Definitely. So if NASA will give us the opportunity to go to moon, we will also avail this opportunity, because so I think my point of view is on this. We need international cooperation on this, because if NASA is doing this, that and NASA will involve many countries in this. Like, if I'm from Pakistan, this operation will also include Asian countries also. So we need international cooperation without the discrimination of nationality, without any discrimination of borders. So with this cooperation, we will share our knowledge, and we will also share the things we have. So, and one thing more, which is that the international space law is also outdated. So this need to be also updated, because some of the regulations regarding the claiming of territory and the cluster bodies. So this need to be also updated. So the ownership of space resources. So we need to be work collectively for this project. So I think NASA will give opportunity to us.
So that's an interesting point. I mean, right now you have China and the US and maybe Russia and some European countries and Japan and Canada all sending probes to the moon. And, Pakistan, it still has some work to do to develop its space program. How do you balance out these people that are going now and making sure you leave room for people to go later?
I think my point of view on this is we need to work collectively, and the main thing is, like as you said earlier, that many countries are sending their programs to space, and Pakistan need to work on this. So I think there are many people throughout in this world, in Asian countries, and also from Pakistan. So we need to work collectively and share our knowledge. In this way, we will get more information and more advantages of. We will. This could give us valuable information if NASA will give opportunities to Pakistani people. So the value this would give us valuable information about the human body, how the human body responds in the space. So these are the few things which I want to share.
Yeah, I wonder what bodybuilding would be like on the moon, where there's 1/7 the gravity. I mean, you might be lifting gigantic boulders just to get the same exercise as you do here with the much.
The weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um.
So
Yeah. Where do you see humanity in 200 years?
I think, like I said earlier, uh, that the resources of like water resources, like the environmental pollution, and the other problems which the humanity is facing nowadays. So after 200 years, uh, the water resources will be like rare, and we need to find more resources, as NASA is taking this step to go to moon, and they are planning to set up mining operations there, so water mining operations there. So I think we need to understand that in many countries like Dubai, like Middle Eastern countries, they have fossil fuel. So with high consumption, and we are using cars, we are like in this digital world, we are consuming electricity, and we are consuming a lot of things. So we need to stop down our operations and think wisely about these things, and because uh, the the fossil fuel and the natural resources are, I think, they are getting down day by day, and we need to serve for humanity. And after 200 years, we have to think about these things, that uh, what will happen to our next generations. So I think we will use our natural resources very wisely, and think about this.
Yeah. Becoming wise as people is difficult. How to use things wisely. Um, let's say that we do create a, well, I guess in 200 years, do you think we'll have everybody still living on the earth? Or do you think there will be people living on the earth and other places?
Yes, definitely. We need some alternate uh, resources for shelter. We need alternate resources for water. So I think if NASA and other countries, their research centers are planning and discovering some new things in space, and they are discovering more things, so that will be beneficial for humanity, because uh, here on earth, day by day, population is increasing. Like here in Asian countries, uh, the population is increasing rapidly and very fastly. So we need some alternative sources on moon, like on other planets. So uh, I think the research stations, uh, if NASA will uh, get a permanent colony in 2028, so this will get a lot of benefit for humanity also.
Let's say we do have a colony on Mars, a city on
Mm,
Mars, in the
mm,
next few decades. And let's say you are one of your descendants actually immigrates to Mars, and it's now 200 years in the future. So it's 2222.
mm,
And it's your great, 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 great granddaughter who's on Mars, has lived on Mars her entire life. She's now in high school doing a history project on the 2020s. So she's 200 years in the future looking back at you. What do you hope uh, is remembered about this decade in 200 years?
So basically, my point of view is after 200 years, we have like as you said that there is a colony on Mars and people are enjoying there, and so I think my point of view is that here on Earth we need to uh, update our knowledge, and we need to uh, get like uh, in our schools, in our colleges, and in different universities, we need to update our curriculum about this, and we need to uh, get people more aware uh, about the more planets, like as you said that Mars, and if people wants to go there and they want to settle down there, so I think this will be beneficial for uh, for humans, and after 200 years, what people will think and what our grandsons and grand our children will definitely be in like we are living in a digital world, and people are enjoying this, and we are already heard the thing that we are living in a metaverse. So we are experiencing these things through through meta, and I hope this will uh, get uh, like we are experiencing through VR glasses. Like we are experiencing these things. So I hope this will get this will be a revolutionary project, and I hope this will change the whole world.
And definitely, I hope it changes the whole world for the better.
Yeah.
Well, those were the questions I had. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
Uh, I want to ask one question about that. NASA is planning for a permanent base on Moon. So, what is your take on this? That how if NASA will give you chance to go to Moon? So, how was your experience, and what do you think about this project?
Yeah, so I mean, the last time I went to the moon was 1972. And I've talked to a lot of people who are wondering why we stopped going. And I've even talked to a few people who even question if we actually went. And I think the reason they do that is because it's been so long. They're like, if you went, why aren't you still going? So I think it'd be good for humanity to see that yes, we can go to the moon. We can do interesting things there. But ultimately, we have to find some way to make it more economical. You know, it needs to be cheaper to go. We need we need to find some resources on the moon that are very valuable and can justify the development. And I think once you have that, once you've decreased the cost of going, um, and you found uh, some resources, then hopefully that just triggers the development by itself. So that's kind of my hope.
So, like the private companies like Elon Musk company, SpaceX is also doing this work. So, as you said that this would be more cheaper to go to moon. So, you think that SpaceX? What is your take on SpaceX project?
SpaceX, I am very thrilled with what they're doing. You know, they have their Falcon 9 rocket that they use to launch satellites, launch supplies to the International Space Station, launch astronauts into space. And the first stage of that is reusable. And so they're able to recover it, inspect it, do a little bit of repair, and then relaunch it just in a matter of days. The second stage still has to be rebuilt each time. But then like the cargo or the crew capsule or the thing that protects the satellites, those can be reused. And so SpaceX has actually been launching a rocket on average once every 6 days this year. And it's really amazing to see the high flight rate. I think over half of everything that's launched in the world this year will be launched by SpaceX. And it's still very expensive because they have to rebuild that second stage each time. But now they're working on this fully reusable rocket called Starship, which will be even cheaper to launch, but could carry like 100 people at a time. And they're looking to do a test flight of that in a matter of weeks or months. So I think, and when they're successful with that, it will actually drive the cost of accessing space to be very, very low. And I think it will transform the entire industry and how we think about doing things in space.
And my last question is about the international space law, which is, I think, outdated, and mostly countries are claiming about the territory of the moon. And they said that this is our territory, and mostly countries are claiming that about the cluster bodies. That so, what is your take that the international law for space should be updated?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to figure out some way to. I mean, if you look at the way parts of the United States were developed, you had people going out there and then they could set up a house and claim some land around it. And then they could sell that to somebody else. You had prospectors going out looking for like gold and other things. And then once they found it, they could claim it and then sell that to somebody else and get some money back from it. And so this provided sort of a set of incentives that allowed for the private industry and private individuals to go and develop space. So as you pointed out, you can't claim anything off of the earth as sovereign territory. There's been kind of some other thinking on it. You can't really claim the oceans either on Earth, but you have like these, fishing ships that go out there and they fish in the ocean and they catch some fish and they put it on the boat. Now those fish belong to that company or that group that owns the boat, and then you go and sell the fish. A lot of people are saying that that same principle applies to the moon. While you can't go there and claim this particular piece of the moon, if you go there and then like get stuff out of the moon, now that belongs to you. So, and there's also this in the international, I think it's the law of outer space or something like that. It has a couple of principles about non-interference. So countries can't interfere with each other. And what this means is if somebody creates a base there, they don't currently own the territory around the base, but another country can't put a base right next to theirs and interfere with it. So some people are saying that, it's important to get out there and establish these bases so that you get effective control, even if you don't have like ownership of some key strategic areas on the moon. So this is some of the thinking I've heard around international space law. As somebody that's dealing with politics there in Pakistan, what do you think about these different thoughts?
So, my point of view about this is as you said that like on moon, the territory, as some countries are claiming that they are their territory, they are their territory. So I think we need to work collectively for the humanity, and without any sort of politics, and without any influence of nationalities. So my take is, uh, to work collectively. We need to serve humanity. We Because if there is a disaster on earth, or any shortages of food and natural resources, so not just the continent of Asia will suffer, the whole world will suffer. So my take is this: so we need to work, and uh, we need to think collectively, like UN is a collective body for whole the world, and they are uh, they are collectively solving the problem. So uh, we need to think wisely without, uh, like, I'm living in Pakistan. So here in Pakistan, the space program is almost uh, very slow, and the space program, because of the things like, this is Pakistan is a developing country, and if we talk about India, their space program is very effective. I need to admit this, because like US and Russia is always in tension situation. Same is the situation is with Pakistan and India. So we need to admit this, that we are very slow in this field. We need to upgrade our space station, and because of the GDP situation, and because our GDP is down these days, and we are facing economical problems, and so we need to uh, upgrade our space station.
I that I That's true. I guess in terms of the economical problems, what do you see as the solution to those?
I think, to be very honest, I want to say this, that the economical problems is just because of uh, the situation here in Pakistan is because of instability of the of the democratic, because the democratic procedure. I want to share some stats with you. Here in Pakistan, uh, it's been 70 years that Pakistan built, and no one in Pakistan will, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, even a single one Prime Minister cannot complete his tenure,
Mm.
just because this is the instability of our democratic system, and because we are living in a deep state. And so, as you know, what is the meaning of deep state? So uh, here in Pakistan, we cannot talk about this, because uh, there are some institutions which cannot allow us to talk about these things. But and mostly our youngsters are leaving Pakistan just because of the instability uh, here in Pakistan. So and the because in the last tenure, the political system was good, and our GDP was crossing 6.1, and suddenly um some institutions came, and they always do this, and right now our GDP is on 3.1. so which is not very good. And so the instability here in Pakistan, which leads to the economical crisis and the IMF pressure on Pakistan is very high, and because so that's why we need to. The petrol prices is increasing, the electricity prices is increasing, everything is increased in Pakistan due to the IMF pressure. So uh, basically we are living in a deep state where uh, we have no um, I must say this, that we have no freedom to talk, we have no freedom to write something about these institutions. So this is the main reason we are still a developing country, not a developed country.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, having the ability to kind of shine a spotlight on policies that aren't working, and to show where corruption is, and you know, kind of address that. And I mean, you have to have people that are free to investigate such things and discuss it, and to talk about the way forward. It's definitely foundational.
Mm.
Well,
So
oh, go
I
ahead.
think I think the best part about US is they are uh, running a democratic system, and the democratic uh, system is running smoothly from 150 years. And and the dictator, we cannot even assume the dictatorship in US. So this is the best part about US, because all the institutions play in their area, and they cannot cross their boundaries. So this is that's why the US is called the land of opportunities. So that's why US is ruling throughout the world.
That's a that's an interesting point, and I I hope that maybe this inspires other countries to uh, have a similar approach, so and to also prosper. Well, Umair, I really appreciate this time to get to talk to you and to
Thank
hear
you.
your viewpoints, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk on your platform. And I'm humbled, honored, privileged to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Take care.